In the interim, for the third day in a row, starting with Sarah Palin's tanning bed, a McCain camp explanation for some problem or other is causing even more problems than the original problem. In our fourth story tonight, is Spain in Europe? Is Spain in Latin America? Or is Spain in the axis of evil? Campaigning in Florida, Senator McCain spoke with a Spanish-owned, Spanish-language radio station. After several questions about unfriendly leaders in Latin America, the interviewer asked whether McCain would meet with Spanish Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. McCain has previously said he would, but this time he veered off into a discussion of Mexico. Asked again, McCain promised to seek closer relations with our friends and, quote, stand up to those who want to harm the United States. Was McCain mistaking Zapatero for a Latin American leader? Was he referring to Zapatero's ending Spain's participation in the Iraq War in 2004? The interviewer sought clarification, and as you will hear, McCain then refers to the hemisphere of Latin America.
So you have to wait and see if he's willing to meet with you, or you be able to do it in the White House?
Well, again, I don't. All I can tell you is that I have a clear record of working with leaders in the hemisphere that are friends with us and standing up to those who are not, and that's judged on the basis of the importance of our relationship with Latin America and the entire region.
Okay, what about you? I'm talking about the President of Spain.
What about me, what?
Okay, are you willing to meet with him if you're elected president?
I am willing to meet with any leader who is dedicated to the same principles and philosophy that we are for human rights, democracy, and freedom. And I will stand up to those that do not.
What about me, what? The McCain campaign today said there is no doubt Senator McCain knew exactly to whom the question referred, begging the question, as with McCain's Sunni Shiite gaffe, which meaning is worse, the unintended or the intended? One footnote, Zapatero's grandfather fought alongside the communists in the Spanish Civil War. Since the age of 13, McCain has said his greatest hero is the fictional character Robert Jordan from For Whom the Bell Tolls, who fought alongside the communists in the Spanish Civil War, for real. Let's turn now to Steve Clemens, Senior Fellow at the New America Foundation, publisher of thewashingtonnote.com. Mr. Clemens, good evening.
Good evening. Good to be with you, Keith.
A lot of options here. Did he hear not Zapatero, but Viva Zapata, or does he think Spain is in Latin America, or what was going on there?
I listened to this tape about 10 times today, and I think John McCain had his own Sarah Palin moment where it just went by him and he didn't get it. And I think it shows, in one way, what kind of a rut he's in. He really thought he was talking about Latin America, and he wasn't ready to talk about Spain, and I think that's fairly clear from the tape, no matter what his advisors are saying now. But even if his advisors do want to do the story, I think it's still pretty much shafting Spain, an ally of ours.
Is this a common problem with American politicians? Because whatever he meant to say, he intertwined a lot of countries in there that really only have one thing in common, that they tend to speak Spanish a lot. Are they all that difficult to keep straight?
Well, I wouldn't think so. I would think that John McCain, whose strongest suit is supposed to be foreign policy, he talks a lot about the transatlantic relationship. One would think that he knew that Spain was an important ally of ours with troops in Afghanistan, and that with all the problems we're having today in Bolivia, with Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, and the Latin American sphere in general, one of our great allies and helpers in the region has in fact been Spain. So I don't think there's really an easy excuse as to mixing up, Spanish-sounding leaders. I think it's really just a very serious faux pas mistake of John McCain in this.
Yeah, and about that, and about Spain, the McCain campaign said that the one thing clear in here was he was refusing to commit to a meeting with the Prime Minister. First off, that's a flip-flop on his past willingness to meet with the Prime Minister, but also does it not put McCain kind of in lockstep with Bush, who has also refused to meet with Zapatero? I mean, how is McCain, who is billing himself as being there to repair the Bush foreign policy damage, repair it by repeating it?
This may seem silly to many, but it's actually very, very consequential. Spain was one of the sites of one of the largest terror attacks in Europe, Madrid. It was around the time of election, and the former president of Spain, Jose Maria Aznar, has been spending a lot of time in Washington, is very well known in Washington, has met McCain many times. Zapatero came in and has been very responsible in the way Spain managed its alliance with the United States and other issues. And I think that it is it is very consequential that transatlantic relationship is not only falling in lockstep with the Bush administration. I think it's much worse because he's kicked the country that's been very, very supportive of us recently and had hopes for him and kicked it right in the teeth.
Steve Clements, the man behind the foreign policy blog, The Washington Note. It was a confusing story, and we thank you for helping us clear it up.
Good to be with you, Keith.
Thank you.